Okay, and so this our celebrity today, who has also gone through a recent divorce, quite a recent divorce, is Isla Fischer. Now, Isla, as many of you would know, is a well-known Australian actress that has started her career again, like most Australian celebrities do, in one of our soaps. And in Australia, it's usually either Neighbours or Home and Away. And in this case, she is from Home and Away. So she played Shannon Reed on Home and Away for about 3 or 4 years. And she actually did quite well. I mean, she received 2 Logie Award nominations. And interesting enough about Isla, I thought she was just Australian. Born and bred, but apparently she was born in Oman, of all places, to Scottish parents, who then moved her to Australia during her childhood. So, with a lot of redheads like Isla is, you're kind of not really sure if they're a true redhead, but now that I guess we know she actually has Scottish roots, and yeah, she probably is a real redhead. Where she's from. So she is going to be a celebrity that we're looking at today. I mean, with a lot of young Australian actresses or actors that have started on the soaps, it seems to be more like a launching pad now, being on Australian soap, either Neighbours or Home and Away, and then they get picked up and then they head towards Hollywood to start their career. And the more unusual one was, I think, Kylie. I mean, she didn't go, being an actress, she didn't go into into acting. She, as her career, she branched off and went into singing and became a pop star. And I guess the rest, as you know, is history. Well, Isla, let's have a look at Isla, what she's actually done. After her stint in Home and Away, she transitioned to Hollywood with a supporting role in Scooby-Doo, that Scooby-Doo live action movie in 2002. Now, I didn't watch Scooby-Doo, but I watched snippets of it, and I'm not sure which character she actually played, so I can't remember her in it. And then she starred in films like The Wedding Crashers in 2005, The Wedding Days in 2006, Confessions of a Shopaholic in 2009. Okay, that one she actually was a main star, okay? I did not actually watch the movie, but I saw snippets of it, and apparently it did pretty well. Delving into some of a main habit for a lot of young women, that's being a shopaholic. And also something a lot of us can identify with. It's very easy to slip into that and become a shopaholic. You do get a buzz. All the ladies out there that are listening, it's a certain buzz and it's a good feeling when you buy something, or especially nowadays you receive a new package in the mail. Oh, it's arrived. Quickly go and open it, and you get that moment of euphoria, and then it's gone. So I guess it's almost like a drug addict. You just have to keep at it to keep getting that hit all the time. So I can understand why people then slip into being a shopaholic, because then you have to keep buying and one after another to keep getting that thrill, that hit, and that high, so to speak. So that movie would have touched on a lot of people, a nerve of a lot of people. And then it was The Bachelorette in 2012 and The Great Gatsby 2013. Now You See Me in 2013 as well, and Nocturnal Animals in 2016. And so her other credits included I Heart Huckabees 2004, Definitely Maybe 2008, Keeping Up with the Jonesies 2016 rather. Just the title alone would tell you what it's all about, Keeping Up with the Jonesies. Tag in 2018, The Beach Bum 2019, And she also was a voice actor as well in animated films like Horton Hears a Who, 2008, Rango, 2011, Rise of the Guardians, 2012, and Back to the Outback, 2021. Now, she also had a recurring role on the 4th and 5th seasons of that sitcom Arrested Development, 2013 to 2019, and starred in the comedy drama series Wolf Like Me since 2022. That one I haven't heard of at all. I'm actually not familiar with a lot of these things that she's starred in, so I guess there weren't very major roles or major series or major movies. And this is something I did not know. She actually authored 2 young adult novels and the Marge in Charge book series. Okay, so the author as well. Good on her. Now, from 2010 to 2024 this year, she was married to Sacha Baron Cohen, whom she has 3 children, and so that's going to be the focus of my reading today. Looking at, well, essentially what happened, because it was quite a long-term marriage and relationship. They were together for quite a while. So it's a shame that it split. I mean, I thought they were set, like as in with lots of relationships that have been going on for a while, but well, it wasn't to be. And so today we're going to look at, well, what happened, and is there anything in their charts, especially hers, that would tell us why it happened. All right. So that's going to be our celebrity reading for today. Now, today we'll be discussing Isla Fischer's relationship, or rather her marriage to Sacha Baron Cohen. And if you're not familiar with Isla, you definitely should be familiar with Sacha Baron Cohen. Just think Borat from Kazakhstan, that character did as a parody. And I guess, look, I think Kazakhstan initially wasn't too happy with them playing that character and stereotyping their countrymen, so to speak. But I think afterwards they were a bit mellow when they realized, he just generated so much publicity and free advertising for the country. And as I understand it, after when that movie went out, Borat, Kazakhstan got an influx of tourists because of that movie. I guess in a lot of respects a bit curious, because it's one of those countries you never really think of because they're hardly ever in the news. You know, it's kind of like especially those Central Asian republics, like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, that sort of thing. You just don't think of countries like that, or don't think of going there to visit, or on your next holiday, like people do. Oh, let's go to Paris or Rio de Janeiro or things like that. You know what I mean? Or even what's that? What is that? Maldives and Madagascar or something like that. It's just not countries you think of going. I'm thinking, what's there for you? And especially such landlocked countries. Well, yeah. You can imagine there's no lying on the beach and enjoying a coconut drink, so to speak, that sort of thing. Well, anyway, Sacha Baron Cohen. But today our focus is on Isla. Okay, now, as I said, Isla was actually born in Oman, Muscat, Oman, to Scottish parents. And so she moved to Australia during her childhood. They moved her to Australia and grew up here. And so ever since then, she's been known as an Aussie actress, especially, Home and Away. Known and associated with Home and Away. Now, Isla. Unfortunately, we do not know when her time of birth is. And so, because we do not know when her time of birth is, we are not able to generate our pillar from that. So, we've only got 3 out of 4 to work with. Okay, so she was born on the 3rd of February 1976. And from that date of birth, we generate her 4 pillars chart. The year pillar being Yin Wood Rabbit, the month pillar being Yin Earth Ox, the day pillar being Yin Wood again, Rooster. So she's got a rabbit, ox, and rooster. And as some of you may know by now, roosters and rabbits clash. It's a direct clash, but she's got the ox in between them to separate them. And so there's not too much of not as much of a clash between her inner and the outside. But she is going to be different from her public persona, and based on what I can see, only from 3 pillars, and her internal persona. So, what type of chart is she? Well, immediately I can see besides the clash, she has a combination. She has a combination between her rooster on her day and the ox on her month. And they form a partial metal combination as well. So because it's a metal, we can say that she follows the power. She actually likes power in her chart. And that is natural to her. So, from that, because of that, her most favorable elements would be metal and then earth, because earth produces and supports metal. The third one would be water, and the fourth one would be wood and then fire. Fire would be her least favorable element, and the second least favorable would be wood. So on a chart, normally the first 2 are the best elements. They'll be the favorable, and the bottom 2 are the unfavorable elements. And the third one would be neutral. Neither here nor there. Neither bad, good, nor bad. Now, let's have a look at Sacha's chart. Now, Sacha was born in London, in the UK, to Jewish parents. And yes, he's actually quite a strict Jew, as I understand it, because Isla had to convert to Judaism to marry him. So I think at that stage, when you're in love, I guess you do anything to be with the one you love. Though I personally don't agree with changing your religion for love, simply because, well, it's changing who you are, really. It's changing your belief system, and your belief system, which your religion is a big part of, actually formed who you are, developed who you are. You are the person that you are because of your beliefs. And it's like someone falls in love with you because of the way you are. Why would they want to change you? It's changing who you are and your belief system. And then you're no longer the person that you are. If someone loves you, for you, they should also understand and realize that you are who you are because of your belief system, and your religion has shaped who you are. Why change your belief system? I mean, even if you were not religious and the other person is, your partner is, if you say you don't mind and change to his religion, well, if you don't really follow it, and then basically it's like you're faking it. For a first instance, you're faking it because you're doing it just for appearance's sake. And secondly, if you really do believe it, then you've just changed yourself. And now you're no longer the person that you were. So you're no longer the person that your partner fell in love with. And so I don't agree with converting for that, or with people wanting your partner to convert. I mean, there are a couple of instances where it's, well, mainly for political reasons, and such as, if you're marrying to the royal family, they have their state religion, and because of the position they're obliged, they have to uphold that religion, stay. And if you're marrying into them, well, yes, if you're going to be a member of that family and representing that country, then you should need to follow the religion of that country. This is like the case of Mary Donaldson, who was an Australian, and I think she was Anglican. But when she married into the Danish royal family, she had to convert into the Lutheran Church because that was the state religion of Denmark. And by all rights, she had to, because now she's become the Queen of Denmark. So she's now Queen Mary, and as the Queen of a country, the state religion is the Lutheran Church. By all rights, yes. By necessity, she also had to convert. So that's something different, but it's not something affects everyday people. And for everyday people, it's something different. Okay, it's basically affecting who you are. Now, back to Sacha Baron Cohen. He was, again, we do not know what his time of birth is, and so we would not know what his hour pillar is. So again, only have 3 out of 4 pillars to work with. So sometimes not having the 4th pillar doesn't really change the chart, but in other instances, it does change the chart. With 25% of the chart missing, the information missing, it could be a determining factor, but we don't know. And there are some readers that actually refuse to do readings without the time of birth, because then they say it cannot be real, and they just don't. And professionally, they don't want to do something that they're not confident in that would be correct. And I guess that then becomes a bit of an issue for people, because not everyone knows their time of birth. And I think once upon a time when the baby's born and then the doctor goes, okay, check the time, record the time of birth, and the mother would know it. But I don't know if it actually got onto the birth certificate, because birth certificates, as I've seen, usually don't have the time of birth on it. So, okay. So that becomes an issue for a lot of people. And I guess in everyday life, it's not an issue until you want to get your astrology chart read. So for those that are after an astrology reading and you don't know your date of birth, ask your parents. If your parents are not around, then ask someone else that may know, such as a sibling, when they accompany their mummy for her to get labour, or an aunt or an uncle that they may know, or a close family friend that will possibly remember. All right. Now, Sacha. So, no, we don't know his time of birth. So, the date of birth is the 13th of October, 1971. Now, because of that, his chart now is, on the year pillar is Yin Metal Pig. Month pillar is Yang Earth Dog. And day pillar is Yin Metal Goat. Now, how does that interact with Isla's chart? Now, straight off, we can see here's a pig, she's a rabbit. Automatic combination. You're saying on their year pillar they combine. So that's also always a good sign. And that's really the year pillar forms the basis of your personality. And I guess for a lot of people, that's all they know. And so they just look for compatibility on the year. It does work to an extent, but that's not enough because I've seen charts where, or people or couples where the year signs combine and they have a great marriage, but other ones, I've seen couples where the year signs don't combine and they have a great marriage still because of other elements in their chart. And I've also seen charts where the year pillars combine and they don't have a good marriage for the same reason that, the rest of the chart either forms elements that are not good for the other partner or messes up the other person's chart, that sort of thing. It's just the interactions as well. So it's sometimes it works with the just going on the year, but a lot of times it doesn't. Okay, just very basic guide. All right, now moving on from that, then what else have we got that can combine? We have a dog in Sacha's month that would combine with Isla's rabbit on her year. And lo and behold, Sacha's also got a goat on his day, which would also combine with a rabbit. And look, since he's got a goat and a pig, and she's got the rabbit, all three of them combine together to what we call a three harmony combination that produces wood. Now, coming back, what's a good sign for the both of them? Or what are good elements for the both of them? For Sacha, his chart is follow the money, okay? And money for him, money for him, because he's metal, would be wood. So the most favorable element for him is wood, then water that nurtures it. And the least favorable would be earth and metal, which controls his favorable elements. And then fire then would be just a neutral sign. So for Sacha and Isla, their combinations together does produce wood. So it is actually this match is actually a lot better for him than it is for her. I mean, she's had to make all the compromises. She's had to really, what do you call it? She's really had to convert to his religion, and I believe she finished studied for 3 years and to convert to Judaism and completed her conversion in 2007. So that was the big thing. So with all these combinations, it's favoring Sacha. And because it's more than just the pig and the rabbit, as you can see, combining together, they also have the goat. It was stronger and it held up for quite a while. Okay, given that they had quite a long marriage in Hollywood terms and celebrity terms, of course. All right, going back to their love and relationship history. They first met in 2001 at a party in Sydney. Now, what is 2001? 2001 was the snake year. And it was during when was 2001? It was during Isla's dragon luck cycle as well. So, and remember, Isla's house of spouse is governed by the rooster. Now, the rooster combines with the snake to form a partial metal combination. Okay, and metal is her best element. And not only that, because she's also got the ox on her month, all three of them combined together, that was a full three harmony metal combination. So that was a very good year for her. Look, and we have to admit, she was only known in Australia before, but once she met up with Sacha and became his partner, she became a lot better widely known and a lot more famous, just like Nicole Kidman. After she married Tom Cruise, she became Hollywood famous. So Isla became worldwide famous because Sacha was, a lot more well-known. Okay, and what does that mean? Also mean, and what about Sacha? Well, 2001, when was that? That was during his goat year. And 2001 for Sacha, that was during his goat luck cycle. Now, the goat luck cycle is the same as his sign on his house of spouse. So there you go. It's the same. It activated his house of spouse, and also Isla with the snake and the dragon luck cycle. Dragons also combine with the rooster. It's a 6-harmony combination that activated her house of spouse. Well, she's got 2 activations on her house of spouse, and so she met someone very significant, and and became significant in her life. And so she was with him for all that time, though this is the thing, they did not actually marry until 2010. So that's like a 9-year relationship until until they married. So she really hung on to there. So, and really through the whole time studied to convert to Judaism. Okay, and they married in 2010. They married in a Jewish ceremony in Paris. Now, 2010, that was a tiger year, but 2010, that was during Isla's snake luck cycle. And like I said, the snake combines with her rooster in her house of spouse, activates it. Okay, the marriage happened. And what about for Sacha? 2010, he was in the horse luck cycle. And horses combine with goat, which governs his house of spouse. So there you go. It's activated again, just all in sync almost. So that's why it happened. And what about children? Okay, they had 3 children. One in 2007. That was during their pig year. And 2007, the pig again combines with Sacha's goat. Unfortunately, we do not know what his hour pillar and Isla's hour pillar is because we don't know what their time of birth is. Now, the hour pillar governs children. It's the house of children. So it may have combined it may have not. So it's very much an unknown. And 2010, it was a tiger year. They had their second child. And 2015, the goat year, they had a son. I think they had 2 daughters first, and then they had a son. So the 3 children there. Now, what about the ending? We know that they're divorced now, which is sad. I mean, it's been like over 20 years they've been together ever since they met in 2001, which is a shame. And because they separated in 2023. All right, let's have a look at why they separated. 2023 is a rabbit year. So what happens? Rabbits and roosters, as I said, they are a clash. And what controls what's in Isla's house of spouse? It's the rooster. So she had a direct clash with her house of spouse last year. And that spells trouble for someone that's already married. That spells trouble. And so they separated. The relationship ended. And what about for Sacha? Well, the goat is in his house of spouse, governs his house of spouse. Now, the rabbits and goats combine. So what happens? Now, this is the thing. If you're single and you've got a combination or a clash in your house of spouse, it activates it. So what happens if you're already married and your house of spouse gets activated? Well, it's pretty clear that a clash on your house of spouse while you're married would actually put pressure on the relationship, on the marriage, if not break it apart. But what about combinations? Well, it can also happen with a combination on your house of spouse while you're married as well. Not always, but it can happen. But because also Isla's house of spouse had a direct clash, I guess that's it. Normally, if it's one side and it's only lasting a year, they can possibly get through it. But when it's for both people, that's double the pressure. And for more than 20 years, something gave way. And I think, and this is the thing with a lot of couples that you can see have gone on for like been married for 30 years and all of a sudden they split. It seemed like all of a sudden they split and it seems like a big shock to everyone. And then thinking, what? After 30 years, what happened? I mean, you know each other so well after 30 years, you'd expect there to be no problems. And it's usually because of reasons like this. They come towards a clash or a combination in their house or spouse. If it's a year, they have a better chance of getting through it. But if it ends up being because of a luck cycle, a clash through a luck cycle, then it becomes extremely difficult. I'd say almost guaranteed that the split. Because 1 year you can possibly work through it. I guess bite your tongue for 1 year and just go, yes dear, yes dear, yes dear. But if it's something like 5 to 7 years, as the case with the effects from a luck cycle, it's a very tough ask. And so I would say almost every relationship or marriage, it just folds because of that. And this is the thing, you know, when couples meet and it happens to be after the luck cycle that the house of spouses clash, then you say, yeah, you've got good chances. Yeah, you marry. So very good chance that the marriage would last. Though for some people, if they're getting married and that clash is coming up soon, it's probably not a good idea too. And so for those reasons, it's good to get a relationship compatibility reading beforehand. Just so you know, at least you know, and so you'd be prepared. And then it's up to you whether or not you still want to go ahead. All right? All right, so that is Isla Fischer and Sacha Baron Cohen. Why they had split after more than 20 years together. All right.